Well, Tribe fans, today we're joined on Tribe World by Danny James, who plays the part of Zoot in the Tribe. Hi Danny, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, how did you first get involved in acting?
I actually fell into acting when I was really quite young. I started off in school choirs and stuff when I was in primary school, and then I first sort of got into the more professional type acting when I was looking for a paper run job when I was about sort of 5 or 6, and so yeah, I ended up getting an agent instead of a paper run job, and that was me moving into acting.
Now, how did you come about auditioning for the Tribe?
My agent rang up and said, "Do you want to do an audition?" And I actually had no idea what it was for when I went along, but I do now.
When you auditioned, did you think you'd get a part?
I wasn't sure. I never like getting too confident with auditions. I always prefer to sort of go along and just do your best and see how it pans out, because auditions are a little bit like a job interview, except it's a lot harder getting an audition than a job interview, in the manner of speaking that the person is looking at you, and 90% of the time they have a very, very good idea about what they want before you turn up even. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. But,
and unfortunately they don't let you in on that.
No, they don't. They never do. But yeah.
Now, a lot of fans have asked, are the actors involved in this industry for the money or for the love of the job?
I would like to say the love of the job.
Because it's not always a lot of money, is it? Depends what the job is.
No, it's not always a lot of money at all. There are people out there that are in it purely for the money, but unfortunately those people never quite seem to go as far as the people that are in it for the love, because it shows through quite drastically when they're doing various different parts in acting.
Do you think actors have to draw on their life experience?
Very much so, very much so. I've always found that acting is almost solely based on recollection of various events in your life, depending on what a specific scene calls for, but yeah, very much so.
What other Cloud9 show did you act in before the Tribe?
Enid Blyton's Secret Series.
And how old were you when you came to Wellington to film the Secret Series?
13 turning 14.
And what was it like living away from your family at such a young age?
It was good. I was a bit sort of, I had reserved feelings about it when I left Auckland, but when I came down here and met the people that were looking after me, which is Toby and Serene, who no, I'm not related to them, but may as well be now. Yeah, no, we had a great time. Yeah.
So they were your house parents?
They were, and yeah, they've never really stopped being house parents really, which has been good for me.
So you've got 2 sets of parents?
I do now, yes.
Now, what funny stories can you tell us about the filming of the Secret Series?
There were quite a lot.
I understand there's a bird in the program.
There was a golden crested cockatoo in the program that played the character of Kiki, I think it was, and the bird was a very, very strong character for a bird, and didn't really like being told what to do. And one day it was sort of sitting on my shoulder, and I was just wandering around, and it must have got a fright by something, but I ended up getting a beak through my lips, and it wouldn't let go for a while, so I had this big hole in my lips and this bird hanging off me, which looked about the size of a football. And yeah, I sort of couldn't get it off for a minute or two, so that was most amusing from the crew's point of view, not quite so much from mine, but I laughed about it looking back on it.
Now, when you came down again to do the Tribe and you were playing Zoot, what funny stories can you tell us about the Tribe filming? From
the Tribe? Well, I guess it always one of the funnier ones is sort of from my point of view, and that was the stunt guy that jumped over the balcony when I died, and I thought it was hilarious because he came out and looked nothing like me at all, but once they chucked him in makeup and put some dreads on him and some makeup and all the rest of it, he sort of looked passable. But I thought it was hilarious because yeah, this guy walked in and he was a good maybe 1.5 foot taller than I was, and quite a lot bigger and build, and he had no hair whatsoever. I was sitting there short, all made up with all these dreads and everything, looking at him and thinking, oh, okay, yeah, you can be me if you like.
But by the time the final scene came out,
Yeah.
it's sort of only his back and you can't really tell.
It was so quick when I saw it after it had been cut that you couldn't tell, but I was quite curious as to how they were going to get away with that one to start with.
Do you wear contact lenses when you're filming Zoot?
Yes, I do.
Are they comfortable?
Not at all. No, because Zoot was a character that I played not all at once. You know, I sort of did some bits and then went off doing various other things and came back and did a bit more. One time when I came back to do them, I put them in and it made the scene very difficult. It was actually the scene in the classroom, the flashback episodes, where I stood up on the desk and sort of screamed at the teacher and whatnot. And that was very difficult because I couldn't actually keep my eyes open to do the scene. My eyes kept sort of closing up because the lenses were really, really uncomfortable and I felt like I was going to cry. And I just wanted to pull them out, but I couldn't do it. So it's
All about professionalism.
yeah. Well, the director's standing there going, no, let's do it again. It looks great, Daddy. It looks great. And I'm going, yeah, well, I can't actually see, mate. So it's making standing up and looking at people very difficult.
Now, when you accepted the role of Zoot, did you know you were only cast for 8 episodes?
Yes, it was. I knew they let me know what was going on within the first 10 scripts, so I did know. Yes.
Did you know any of the cast members before you started filming The Tribe?
Well, I can only go as far to say as I met Caleb Ross because he did the audition directly before mine up in Auckland when we auditioned for The Tribe. So other than that, no, I didn't know anybody.
And how well do you get along with the other cast members?
Oh, very well. It's sort of we don't see each other because we're all spread out now that there's no filming going on. I caught up with Michelle Ang the other day, and that was nice.
So who would you say you get along with best out of the cast?
Probably Michelle. We get on quite well on a social level and go out and do things here and there.
Now, do you have a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment, I don't.
What qualities do you look for in a girl?
Well, I'd have to say the most important things for me really, I'd have to go with honesty. Honesty's got to be the main factor in me looking at someone for a relationship type person, you know, or situation. The second thing would be outgoing, you know, someone that knows what they want to do and is also not afraid of saying that, you know. I can't stand that if someone knows what they want to do but is too afraid to sit there and say, yep, I'm keen to do this.